begins calling me his great-eyed darling. Get our horses ready while I go within the house of aegis-bearing Zeus and put on my armor. We shall then find out whether Priam's son Hector will be glad to meet us in the highways of battle, or whether the Trojans will bloodhounds and vultures with their fat and flesh as they fly dead by the ships of the Achaeans. Thus did she speak, and white on Hera, daughter of great Cronos, obeyed her words, and she set about harnessing her beloved Isend steeds, while Athena, daughter of the aegis-bearing Zeus, flung her richly vesture, made with her own hand on the threshold of her father, and on the turf of Zeus, arming herself for battle. Then she stepped into her flaming chariot, grasped with a spear, so stout and sturdy and strong, with her she quelled the ranks of heroes who have displeased her. Hera lashed her horses, and the gates of heaven bellowed as they flew open of their own accord, gates over which the hours preside, and whose hands are heaven and Olympus, either to open against cloud that hides them, or to close it. Through the goddess drove their obedient steeds, but father Zeus, when he saw them from Ida, was very angry, and sent winged Iris with a message to them. Go, said he, fleet Iris, turn them back, and see that they do not come near me, for if we come to fighting there will be mischief. This is what I say, and this is what I mean to do. I will lame their horses for them, I will hurl them from their chariot, and will break it in pieces. It will take them all 10 years to heal the wounds my lightning shall inflict upon them. My great-eyed daughter will then learn what falling with her father means. I am less surprised and angry with Hera, for whatever I say she always contradicts me. With this Iris went her way, fleet as the wind from the heights of Ida to the lofty summits of Olympus. She met the goddesses at the outer gates of its many valleys, and gave them her message. What, said she, are you about? Are you mad? The son of Cronos forbids going. This is what he says, and this is what he means to do. He will lame your horses for you, he will hurl you from your chariot, and will break it in pieces. It will take you all 10 years to heal the wounds his lightning will inflict upon you, that you may learn, great-eyed goddess, what quarreling with your father means. He is less hurt and angry with Hera, for whatever he says, she always contradicts him. But you, bold hussy, will you really dare to raise your huge spear in defiance of Zeus? With this she left them, and Hera said to Athena, O the truth child of aegis-bearing Zeus, I am not for fighting men's battles further in defiance of Zeus. Let them live or die as luck will have it, and let Zeus mete out his judgments upon the Trojans and Dons according to his own pleasure. She turned her steeds, the hours presently unyoked to them, made them fast to the ambrosial mangers, and leaned to the chariot against the hand wall of the courtyard. The two goddesses then sat down upon the golden thrones amid the company of other gods, but they were very angry. Presently father Zeus drove his chariot to Olympus and entered the assembly of the gods. The mighty lord of the earthquake unyoked his horses for him, set the car upon its stand, and threw a cloth over it. Zeus then sat down upon his golden throne, and Olympus reeled beneath him. Athena and Hera sat alone apart from Zeus, and neither spoke nor asked him questions, but Zeus knew that what they meant, and said, Athena and Hera, why are you so angry? Are you fatigued with killing so many of your friends, the Trojans? Be this as it may, such is the might of my hands, that all the gods in Olympus cannot turn me. You were both to be trembling all over area. If ever you saw the fight and its terrible doings, I tell you therefore, and it would have surely been, I should have struck you with lightning, and your chariots would have never been brought you back against Olympus. Athena and Hera groaned in spirit as I sat side by side, rude and mischief for the Trojans. Athena sat silent without a word, for she was in furious passion, bitterly incensed against her father. But Hera could not contain herself and said, What dread son of Cronos are you talking about? We know how great your power is, nevertheless we have compassion upon the Danaans, warriors who are perishing and coming to that end. We will, however, since you so bid us, refrain from actual fighting, but we will make serviceable suggestions to the Argives, that they may not all of them perish in your displeasure. And Zeus answered, Tomorrow morning, Hera, if you choose to do so, you will see the son of Cronos destroying large numbers of the Argives, for fierce Hector shall not cease fighting till he has rose the son of Peleus. When they are fighting in dire straits, the ship turns about to the body of partial plus. Like it or no, this is how it is decreed. For aught I care, you make this the lowest depths beneath earth and sea, where Iapetus and Cronus dwell, and lone Tartarus, with neither ray of light nor breath of wind to cheer them. You may go on until you get there, and I shall not care one which for your displeasure. You are the greatest of vixen living. Hera made him no answer. The sun's glorious orb now sank into Oceanus, and drew down night over the land. Sorry indeed were the Trojans when light failed them, but welcome and thrice prayed for did darkness fall upon the Achaeans. The Hector led the Trojans back from the ships, and held a council on the open space near the river, where there was a spot clear of horses. They left their chariots and sat down on the ground to hear the speech he made them. He grasped a spear 11 cubits long, the bronze points of which remained in front of it, while the ring round the spearhead was of gold. Spear in hand he spoke, Hear me, said he, Trojans, Barbarians, and allies. I deemed but now that I should destroy the ships, and all the Achaeans with them. Ere I went back to Ilium, but darkness came on too soon. It was the Hesse alone that saved them and their ships upon the seafloor. Now therefore let us obey the behest of night, and prepare our suppers. Take your horses out of their chariots, and give them feeds of corn. Then make speed to bring sheep and cattle from the city. Bring wine also and corn for your horses, and gather much wood. For the dark till dawn we may burn watchfires whose flare may reach to heaven. For the Achaeans may try to fly beyond the sea by night, and they must not embark scatheless and unmolested. Many a man among them must take a dart with him to nurse at home, wait with spear or arrow as he is leaping on board his ship, that others may fear to bring war and weeping upon the Trojans. Moreover, let the heralds tell it about the city, that the growing youths and rear-bearded men are to camp upon its heaven-built walls. Let the woman reach of them light a great fire in her house, and let watch be safely kept, lest the town be entered by surprise while the host is outside. See to it, brave Trojans, as I have said, and let this suffice for the moment. At daybreak I will instruct you further. I pray and hope to Zeus, and to the gods, that we may then drive those fate-sped hounds from our land, for 'tis the fates that have borne them and their ships hither. This night therefore let us keep watch, though early morning let us put on our armor and rouse fierce war at the ships of the Achaeans. I shall then know whether Diomed, the son of Tydeus, will drive me back from the ships to the wall, or whether I shall myself slay him and carry off his blood-stained spoils. Tomorrow let him show his mettle. Abide my spear if he dare. I ween that at break of day he shall be among the first to fall, and many another of his comrades round him. Would that I were as sure of being immortal and never growing old, and of being worshipped like Athena and Apollo, as I am that this day. day will bring evil to the Argives. Thus spoke Hector, and the Trojans shouted applause. They took their sweeping steeds from under the yoke, and made them feast fast, each by their own chariot. They made haste to bring sheep and cattle from the city. They brought wine also and corn from their houses, and gathered much wood. They then offered unblemished hecatombs to immortals, and one carried the sweet savour of sacrifice to heaven. But the blessed gods partook not thereof, for they bitterly hated Ilium, but Priam and Priam's people. Thus high in hope they sank through the livelong night by the high waves of war, and many a watchfire did they kindle. As when the stars shine clear and the moon is bright, there is not a breath of air, not a peak nor blade, nor jutting headland, but it stands out in the ineffable radiance that breaks from the serene of heaven. The stars can all of them be told in the heart of the shepherds glad. Even thus shone the watchfires of the Trojans before Ilium, midway between the ships and the river Xanthus. 1,000 campfires gleamed upon the plain, and in the glow of each there sat 50 men, while the horses championing oats and corn beside their chariots waited till dawn should come.